joining us. If you're watching the stream, video quarterback of our Riders, Trevor Harris. Trevor, fantastic game Saturday. If you're a Rider fan, it was good. I'm curious for you, after such a big win like that, is it right back into studying and watching tape and all that, or do you give yourself kind of 24 hours, enjoy it, and then get back after it?
Yeah, appreciate you guys for having me on. It's kind of a little bit of both. After the game, my dad was here, my mom was here, and so I brought my dad down on the field. That way he could kind of go in the locker room and kind of celebrate with us. But I enjoyed that through the media session, chatted with him, chatted with my mom, and I went back to the house and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just watch the game. I'm gonna just relax, have a good night, watch a little football on TV. And the first thing I downloaded was a Winnipeg game and watched it. And it's kind of like sickness at this point. It's moving on to the next one. And, we were able to kind of flush the win the next morning, just watch like a short cut up of things that we could kind of get better at. But as you guys have been hearing us say, man, the job's not finished. This was just one step, and we expected to win that one. And we're excited that we're able to get to Winnipeg, and it almost feels right that we go to their place, and hopefully we can take the torch from them.
It was, we talked about it on the show when everyone found out, and everyone's been messaging us all year long. It's like, Armstead and Oled in the backfield. Like, why? Why aren't they happening? And then, boom, it happens for that game. We were talking about it earlier in the show. For myself, I thought we were going to see maybe a little more running with both of them. But maybe that was always in the cards. Let Winnipeg think that as well, because you were slinging it. Like you threw it probably more than a lot of people expected with both of those guys at your disposal.
Yeah, to be honest, I just kind of take what the defense gives me. And, Mueller's done a fantastic job of preparing us all year and, doing things to kind of help dissect what defenses are trying to do to us. And I think we've just done an excellent job of converting the second and longs when our run game, doesn't quite get what we want on first down, mixing up the RPOs. But, it's really great when we've got AJ and Raquel, really kind of getting that run game churning. That way teams can't drop 9 on us. And it becomes really difficult on defense if we can get, stay two-dimensional on offense. And I just really like this club. I like where we're at. And I think we're a confident bunch going into Winnipeg, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Go ahead, Vince.
Trevor, you spread the ball around a lot in that game on Saturday. 7 different players, 5 receivers, 2 running backs. We talked about AJ and Raquel. Is that something you try to do to be diversified, or you hinted at it? Is it something that where you just go with what the defense gives you? But do you consider a successful day at the office, if you will, when you're able to spread it around?
I think so. A lot of people ask, who's your favorite receiver to throw to? And I was just telling us the open one. And, whoever the defense is, but I will say when teams play man coverage, if teams have the backbone to play man coverage against our receiving core, sometimes it is a little bit pick and choose, who's the best winner here. And it comes down to leverage. But at the end of the day, the defense is going to dictate where the ball goes. And, the best offenses I've been on are the ones that really spread the ball around. A different wide receivers featured, every week because, the defense is going to dictate where the ball goes. And we have 4 or 5 guys out there that can go for 100 yards at any given moment. And I would put our core up against anybody's. And we've got a selfless receiving core. That's the most important thing is Kean Schaefer-Baker is a walking 1,000-yard receiver as soon as he gets a healthy season. And, he didn't have the biggest statistical game, but he's happier than anybody because we went out there, got a win. And you can feel the pride coming back in this province and in this team. And we're an excited bunch. It's going to be a fun week this week.
That's a good look behind the curtain, right? To the selfishness isn't there on that team. What's with the don't flinch wristbands? What do we need to know about those?
You guys want one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. I made 200 of them at the beginning of the year, and I got 100 extras. So I need to fire some out to some Rider fans, man. But no, before the season, when Mace got hired on, and I kind of asked him, I said, is there some sort of mantra that you want for the team this year? And I wanted to put his on one side and mine on the other. And his is build it, and something we're building. We're trying to build something special in this organization, the culture that we have, the expectations, and really getting this fan base excited about, this team and, can really get behind us and have some pride in, wearing their Rider gear. That's kind of just something that I've taken pride in, is allowing the people of Regina to be able to walk around and be daggone proud that they're wearing the green and white. And, that's something that's kind of meant a lot. And so building something special was kind of Mace's thing. And on the other side, I put don't flinch. It's just something that's always just spoke to me of no matter what is going on, you trust your plan and never flinch. And if you can kind of just stick to what your culture is, what your core values are, no matter what, have that full belief, unwavering belief in who you are and what you're trying to accomplish. That's really what it's about in football. And so we were down earlier this year. I think it was in Hamilton, and we came back from 2 scores in the final 3 minutes and won the game in regulation. And I kind of just went over to Mace. I pointed at the wristband. I said, "We never flinch." And it's just kind of one of those things where no matter what's going on, we've got a group that just won't flinch. And I think that's kind of the things that'll pay dividends right now, because the only thing guaranteed in pro football, and especially in the playoffs, is adversity will come. And how do you respond to that? And my thing is just like, we're never going to flinch.
No better place, I think, to give those away. We'll take them off your hands. Rider Nation, the official voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I guarantee, watch the text line here, fellas. Watch it light up with people wanting those. So, yeah, we'll take those off your hand anytime. Logan Furland, like all the offensive line this year, what they've dealt with, like it's something that no one's ever seen it, where guys are coming in, defensive side of the ball guys are coming in. Like unbelievable. Furland on bets on Saturday. Like what do you say about him? How do you put into words what he's done? And he's Sasky, right? He's from here. That pride runs deep with him for sure.
I'll tell you what, man, there's really nobody on the team that you're happier for than the local guys like Logan Furland, Mitch Picton. And Logan Furland's done a lot of surprising to people because, he's kind of rose to stardom and become a prominent offensive lineman in this league. There is zero surprise to me. That guy is an absolute workhorse. He's an absolute stud. The fact that he's played center, guard, and tackle this season, that'd be like daggone me playing tight end, running back, and quarterback. That ain't never going to happen, So, This guy's an animal, and, he's one of the guys that I'm truly, truly happy for, because he's a guy that's in at 6 a.m, leaves late, works a construction job in the off season, and just truly a blue-collar dude. And he embodies what a Rough Rider is. And to me, he's a guy that motivates me every single day, because I know he wants nothing more than to see the Rough Riders succeed. He's a guy that grew up a Rough Rider fan, and so if you're a Rough Rider fan, you get to play for him too. It's just like those kind of guys are the ones that really motivate you to get after it.
Geez, talk about a guy just size alone why you'd want him on your construction crew. Yeah, really good to see him and the O-line getting the respect and everybody understanding all the things that they had to go through this year. Trevor, question for you: loud stadiums. You guys are going to be going into a real loud one in Winnipeg. 2 parts to this. First off, if you could talk about how loud the fans were for the Western semifinal. It was deafening. We were talking about how hard they came out and worked and made noise, caused problems for BC. And then if you can talk about preparations for a loud stadium in Winnipeg.
Yeah, first and foremost, the fans for this game were exactly what you'd expect. When you hear about trying to play at Mosaic and making it difficult, that is exactly what happened. And I think BC tried to not do silent for the first couple cadences, because I didn't see Vernon kind of, do the wave, and I see, you see the offensive lineman go out and raise his hand, do that sort of thing, and then they snap it. They tried to not, and they quickly got out of that. And so that was something that I knew immediately impacted the crowd. And that's what I envisioned when I signed here. I was like, this is the sort of crowd that we need to, put on for. And they did a tremendous job. And now preparing for a crowd like that, they're going to have some sort of impact. Now, what that is really up to us and how we prepare. And so we've already started putting in the preparation for it to make sure that we're, sound, making sure we're working our signals for any sort of miscommunication, really working the silent cadence with the O-line to make sure that we're able to mix up our cadences still, because you get defensive linemen like Willie Jefferson, Jake Thomas able to time the snap, you can have some issues. And so we're doing everything we can to get ahead of that. And it's just a little bit extra work, not too bad, something we've done before. And so we're going to be prepared for it.
Is it true that run from Ouellette, the touchdown, that's kind of a last minute thing between you and him there?
Kind of. So I talked during the cadence quite a bit, just as reminders. It'd be like a white 80. Hey, you're going to play here. What? And a couple weeks prior, we called the same play a couple times, and they kind of stayed in zone coverage. And so we just kind of pumped out the screen to Sam to the field. And this week they adjusted and brought their halfback over to number 4 and covered us up. And so it gave us the weak side alley. And so during the cadence, it was just one of those like, white 80, hey, your ball, wide.
Yeah.
He kind of knew. It was kind of one of those things.
That's cool. Mom and dad sticking around for the Winnipeg game, or they go home?
They went home. They left. I actually got up at 3 a.m, took them to the airport. Their flight out was at 5 a.m. And so it was an early one for them, but they had a blast. And they were asking me if they should book their tickets to Vancouver. I told them, go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's
but
nice.
I know my parents, they're going to purchase insurance and whatnot, but I wanted them to go ahead and let's speak into existence. I'm big on that. I'm a big faith man. So let's speak this into existence.
That's good. Last one for me. Who was the quarterback, or who's the quarterback that you still look up to? Maybe try and model yourself after. And then when you were growing up, who was the guy?
Man, Peyton Manning was one from afar that I would say that I've always looked up to. Just how he mastered the game in terms of it always felt like he was under control. There was no moment too big for him. And somebody that I've played with that I'd say I'll try and model my game after would be Ricky Ray. He's a guy that, I've really, my first 4 years in the league, I was with Ricky. I got to see him work every day, was the same person every day. I'm a little more vocal than Ricky. You're not going to hear a bunch of words out of Ricky, and I'm maybe a little bit more, body language, emotion than Ricky from time to time. But he's just the same guy every day, calm, cool, collected. And I've always looked up to people that are the same guy every day, that the moment never gets too big for them, and you know what you're going to get from them each and every day. And so those two have really been guys that I've really looked up to a lot.
Last one for me, Trevor. First off, I've gotten a couple of texts here actually from some buddies, and they think that the Rider store should carry those wristbands. Build it, don't flinch, because they said that they said that's some pretty good advice. Actually, I wouldn't mind one of those for my boys. And you know what? Christmas is coming, so I still think they should stock up the Rider store with that. So I'll leave that with the Riders.
I'll talk with them about this week about it. I'll see if we can get some order for the Rider store. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be great here in Saskatoon. A shout out to the Rider store across the street in Midtown Plaza. Last one for me. Obviously, you want to be playing your best football at the end of the year. Just talk about how, just the environment, the feeling, the vibe that you have in the locker room now as you guys continue this quest towards, hopefully, knock on wood, a Grey Cup title. But we'll talk about the West final first.
Yeah, and shoot, I think the feeling in the locker room is just belief right now, which is all you can ask for. And, people talk about momentum. They talk about scheme. They talk about what's the plan going to be. They talk about experience, playoff experience. What's more important and more potent than all of that is belief, and belief in one another. Because as you know, if you really truly believe in something that you're doing, you're going to go harder. You're going to have a great feeling about it. You're going to be spirited. And the belief is really all you need to kind of get those formulated wins. And I feel like we've got a group that really believes in one another. And, it's not an overconfidence thing. It's more of like why is this a day off? Let's get to practice sort of a situation. And we can't wait to get the plan. We can't wait to get into meetings. We can't wait to go out and execute, learn from the mistakes we make in practice, shore things up, get better. And, it's just one of those things where I look forward to the practice days. But once day 3 is over and there's, that 48-hour window until the game, it is just the longest 48 hours. And so I'm not looking forward to that 40 hours before the game to build up, but I just can't wait till to get to the meeting room tomorrow to get to work. And we've got an excited bunch, and we know we've got Rider Nation behind us here. And hopefully we can come back, and hopefully people meet us at the airport when we get back and we see Rider Nation out faithful, greeting us and sending us off to Vancouver. That'd be nice.
I'm telling you, I told you, text messages, they're going to start from all over Saskatchewan. People want these. So just get us a few. We'll give them out. There's some people that are going to Vancouver that they want them when they get to the Grey Cup. Hey, Trevor, again, thanks so much for doing this today. Congratulations. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, right? Now go and get it in Winnipeg so we can get to Vancouver.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Right on.
Thanks, Trevor.